Hello, terrible warriors. Before we get back to Cult with episode 5, now entitled Prepare to Land, and find out what happened to dear old Blue after she straight up and vanished from the cabin of Flight 191, I wanted to jump into the feed and let you know about something very cool that we're doing during the summer. We've partnered up with the Dungeons and Do-Gooders to host a new live stream show every Tuesday evenings. We call it Tabletop Tuesdays. Sometimes a good name is just a name that does exactly what it says on the tin, right? You see, the Dungeons and Do-Gooders, they're a Dungeons and Dragons channel, and as you know, I love to introduce new tabletop games and settings and story ideas to folks who've never left the Forgotten Realms behind or have never experimented with a system that wasn't 5e. So, every Tuesday, I will be taking over the D&DG Twitch stream to host a different one-shot tabletop RPG. Every game will be different each week, but here's what they're going to have in common. They're easy to learn. They require little to no preparation to play. They're from a small independent publisher, and you can run this game yourself, regardless of your background or gaming experience. Now, on top of the games, we also have a special guest joining us every week on the stream. Last week, we debuted Tabletop Tuesdays by playing one of my all-time favorite games, Masks: A New Generation, and we were lucky enough to be able to welcome Josh Saleh to our table. Josh hosts Marvel events and Let's Plays, and while he certainly loves the world of superheroes, he hadn't played a tabletop RPG since middle school. So what I'd like to do today here is share with you a short interview that we had right in the middle of our game before our predictably over-the-top climactic finale to our story. And if you'd like to watch the full game right now, you should head over to twitch.tv/DNDGgames. Later this year, I'm going to repackage these live streams into the podcast episodes, but for now, I want to invite you to join us every Tuesday on the DNDG channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And if that time zone doesn't work for you, they're all available as VODs on Twitch. You can go back, you can watch them. Tonight, June 14th, I'm going to be running Electric Bastion Land for the very first time. And I am very excited and I am very nervous about the outcomes, which is usually a good sign something awesome is about to happen. I hope you'll join me there. And I hope you'll join me every Tuesday on Tabletop Tuesday in partnership with Dungeons and Do-Gooders. We'll be back either later this week or next week on The Terrible Warriors with the next chapter in Cult Divinity Lost. We've got like 10 more episodes ready to go. They're already recorded. I just got to edit them. The early access to episode 5 is already posted to the Patreon page, so if you'd like to get ahead start on that, you know where to go. And I'm going to tell you right here on the feed, I know I normally put those early accesses behind the paywall, but this week, it's already up there. It's been posted publicly, so you can go and listen to that. It doesn't have the music or the sound effects put into it just yet. It's just the voice tracks, but you get a chance to hear, like, I don't know, the acoustically unplugged version of episode 5 before I get to attach all of the cool bells and whistles to it. For now, here's the interview that I had with Josh Saleh on Tabletop Tuesdays, getting excited about our Masks campaign, and where I got to ask Josh what it was like to play in a collaborative story game for the very first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You have to really rely on the people you're surrounded by, and for me, being a big board gamer, rules are right there front and center, so you can just look them up. Here, you just have to trust in the story and be like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. And that when we happened with Miss Spooner, with Jackie, it was like, you know what, let's go into chaos. Let's make it her. Like, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's no safety net, right? And even more so in like a Powered by Apocalypse game where its story is so much front and center. You don't even necessarily, I mean, you do have this kind of freedom in Dungeons & Dragons, but you're sometimes not allowed to have that kind of freedom in Dungeons & Dragons without breaking all the preparation work that went into it. There are rules, though. You have your moves on your playbook ready to go. What do you think about the heroes we've created, about Mex and Superfan and Boomer and Chikasa or Chica? Oh, they're not on my screen, so I've immediately deleted it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So, you know, I'm a big video gamer, so Skyrim, Diablo, those type of games where you can create your own RPG style things. I love that.
Sure.
And it's so funny because you have no idea what to expect. So I went in with no expectations. And Danny with the boomer character, me as Josh wants to be like, no, why are you doing that? But Mex, the character, is just like, well, I'm not going to be able to stop him, so let him do whatever he wants.
It's a pretty much a good take to go with anyone who's playing with a bull in masks. You can't really stop them so much as just let them clear a path. You'll follow in afterwards. You can clean it up. Now, you do a lot of work, obviously, with Marvel and doing your presentations, your interviews, running games, playing, the Let's Plays, and just everything. So, of all the people, we wanted to do masks because you're so immersed in superhero dumb. What do you think about our hero and our team and of Halcyon City? Like, these teenagers are trying to figure out what makes a hero, and like trying to find their groove into this superhero world. What would your advice as Josh be to these teens of what kind of hero they could aspire to be?
Oh, that's a good question. So my advice to the tryhards would be to establish a leader. I think there is a semi-leader happening right now with Chikaha. And I think if
reluctant, maybe, but certainly the most capable. Yes.
Yeah. I think if they entrusted their beliefs in her and believed in themselves on that leadership, I think they would get pretty far. And I think if there was more communication to be had. Yeah.
They do need to start sharing what they're doing before they run in, don't they?
Yeah.
Although I've been told, and I have to be careful, if every time I'm playing with Danny, he charges right in.
Yeah, I guess I'm learning that too.
Jenkins style every time. So, before we get back into our game, Josh, what are you doing that we can be excited about? What's on your horizon as we're getting ready to try and get them back to a common horizon?
Yeah, summer's gonna be super busy for me. I'm traveling for 2 weeks this in less than a week, going around the country hosting different things, which is really fun. So I'm going to Seattle, Vancouver, Austin, New York, and then after that I'm going to Europe for about a month and a week. So my best friend's getting married in Greece and my cousin's getting married in France. So I will be in Europe.
Well, we
July
caught you right
August.
before you were gone forever. So thank you for taking the time and rolling dice with us. This has been really swell.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, serious though. I don't know what to do in this other dimension. I kind of just improvise this in the moment. How do we get out of this?
I think we need to bring the team back.
We need to bring our team back. We need to bring them all back together. We need a moment of truth is what we need. So we need you all to miss some rolls so that you can do a moment of truth, and then you can tell me how we get out of this mess, because I'm lost. I'm trapped here with you all too. Why don't we bring the rest of the table back to the screen, and we're going to reassemble our team as we're standing over the rocks of another...
And there you have it. If you want to follow me there, go over to twitch.tv/DNDGgames, and I'll be there. And I'm going to be there every Tuesday night hosting a different one-page RPG throughout June and July. Just an 8-week series, and at the end of that, I don't know, maybe we'll figure it out. If we really like what we're doing, we'll see if something else goes on. It's going to be a good time. So I want to see you there. Come into the chat, say hi. It's a rare opportunity for you to see my face. That'll be fun too, right? We're going to play a different game every week. I'm very excited about what that's going to be like. It's not going to affect the podcast here. We're still playing Cult, and then maybe we're going to play Into the Odd, the game that predates Electric Bastion Land. I just got a pre-copy of that. I still want to do Meet the Makers. I've got some interviews booked up. They're all coming out. As always, follow us on Twitter @Dice Warriors to find out what we're doing. Join our Discord server. That's really the best way to connect with me directly, especially if you got questions about the podcast or thoughts about our past games. Like, I love it. Come over. Join us on our Discord server and get involved with our really cool community over there. And of course, this show is only possible because of Patreon, and that's why we get to do all these really cool things. So if you like what we're doing and you'd like us to do more, patreon.com/Terrible Warriors. I'll see you at Tabletop Tuesdays on Twitch. I'll see you back here with Cult Episode 5 on the Terrible Warriors. And until we see each other around the table again, rolling dice and telling our stories, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for getting excited about these games with me. See you next time. Be good to each other.